This video is part of a series presenting the story in English titled, 4 Years 9 Days, My Life in the Kingdom of Hell. Designed for English-speaking audiences, this English rendition is a translated adaptation of the original Khmer poem. A parallel version, narrated in Khmer with English or French subtitles, is also available on youtube.com/@retia's channel. To continue following the story in English, please follow and subscribe to this channel, youtube.com/@retia2. Chapter 5, The First Few Weeks of the Khmer Rouge Regime. This video contains 5 sections. Section 1, Journey Without Destination. Section 2, Trying to Return. Section 3, Hoping to Meet Again. Section 4, Life in Prey-Borey, Tnaltotung District. Section 5, Building Shelter in the Forest. We are in April, 1975. Section 1, Journey Without Destination. Yesterday, April 17, 1975 was a tragic day for the nation. It was a day in Phnom Penh that I will remember forever. Waking up the next day, I still can't believe the situation I'm in. It feels like a bad dream. I keep thinking about what has happened and realize it is a reality. The sky is still dark and the sound of a whistle is scary. It wakes everyone up. Every family nearby is called to gather and listen to a Khmer Rouge who announces,
"Fathers, mothers, and comrades, there is rice further down. If you do not move, you will starve to death."
He continues,
"Money and gold are worthless. There is no market where you can buy anything. You will have to move fast towards a remote rural area. Cars and motorbikes are being confiscated. Leave them all here. Onkar will take care of them all."
Onkar, fathers, mothers, comrades, snur, a term meaning to confiscate or rob at this time. It is disturbing to hear all of these strange and unfamiliar terms on just the second day. I can only guess at their meanings. There are also annoying phrases being used, such as Onkar daktas. It is a bizarre term that people are being forced to use. We are forced to keep moving forward, even though we are exhausted. We walk and carry our belongings on makeshift carts because our cars were confiscated. I am lucky to have a bike, which we pile our stuff on. 3 of us push and hold on to keep it balanced. Many of the cars around us have lost their tires and I am not sure why. Our family tries to take our time by walking slowly, but it seems there is no hope of returning home. We are in despair. We want to go back to our home in Bekchan, which is just about 2 kilometers away, but we are not allowed to. So we have no choice but to stop in Kambol town. Armed with guns, the Khmer Rouge are yelling for us to get off the road because it has become congested with pedestrians. By the time we near Wat Tafum, it is dark. My grandmother insists we continue to Watsras, her native village, to look for her siblings. However, the tiny path is congested and it is dark. "It's not possible for us to go," my uncle said. "It is better to spend our night here. We will find water and we will let the kids eat anything we have. We need to camp here for the night." Some look for water and some for firewood. We are so tired on this second day. We share a little of the dry food we have and we prepare a place to stay overnight. There is not enough rice for everyone. Kids are crying as they are hungry. The pagoda used to be so quiet, but now it is crowded and noisy. This morning at dawn, Trey, my cousin's husband, and I go to fetch water. Before reaching the pond at the pagoda, we heard someone yelling,
"Do not go to fetch water from the pond. There are a few corpses floating in the water."
Last night, it was dark. Trey and I got water from this place. I believe the voice, but we both want to see with our own eyes. We see a dead body floating in the water, not far from where we took water last night. Both Trey and I are throwing up what little food we had last night. We know we filled the bucket with water last night. Should we tell everyone? We decide not to tell everyone because it is too late to tell them. In fact, except for my grandmother, my mother, my aunts and the children, everyone knows. A large number of people were staying at the pagoda last night. Where could they get water? They may have used water at night not knowing that there are floating corpses in the pond. Section 2, Trying to Return. There are many people who are struggling with a lack of food. On this third day, my parents, aunts, and uncles decide to return to the national road, heading southwest. By moving in this new direction, we hope to have the chance to return to Baekjeon, our native home. There are thousands of people wandering around, and it may be easy to go in the opposite direction without the Khmer Rouge knowing. To mitigate the risk, we come up with a plan to move backwards in a small group. We will pretend to change direction if spotted by soldiers and stay close to the road while observing the situation. The country is in chaos and it's possible that the same is happening all over. The lack of food and resources is evident, as there are no markets and money has become useless. I see riels, the local currency, lying discarded on the ground everywhere, as the Khmer Rouge took people's money. Today, we are sticking to our plan and avoiding the northern route. We stop at a village called Prey-Borey, which is between Baekjeon and Angsner town. We take a short break in the sun as there is no shade in the vicinity. As I look around, nothing seems to have changed from the previous day. People are moving forward slowly, with no clear purpose. My eyes scan the crowd looking for any relatives I may recognize. Section 3, hoping to meet again. Today, we are somewhat happy because my dad meets his sister on the third day of this fearful time. They are discussing things under the hot sun. In this hopeless moment, they converse with each other. My aunt has brought her family, including her grandchildren, along with many Chinese families. Her group is not small. There are friends and neighbors who live around the central market in Phnom Penh. Most of them do not speak Khmer. There are at least 50 people, and most of them speak only Teochew, a dialect widely used by the Chinese in Cambodia. Fortunately, my cousins speak Khmer. My aunt has to continue her trip with her group. Both brother and sister have a brief moment together. They hope to see each other in the near future. We are trying hard to reach our houses, but a Khmer Rouge is pointing a gun at us, preventing us from entering. Fast forward, that was the last time my dad and his sister met. We are exhausted and out of options. We are very disappointed and continue to move forward, carrying our few belongings with us. Tonight, we have to sleep under the open sky again because we cannot return. It is important that we are all together now. The children are crying because they are hungry. Section 4, Life in Prey-Borey, Phnom Penh District. We spent the night under the open sky. In the morning, we continue our journey through Phnom Penh and arrive at a place called Prey-Borey. It is a small forest, but many families are already there. The Khmer Rouge orders us to go deeper into the forest and settle there. He tells us to build our houses there using bamboo and trees from the forest. He says,
"These are our resources. You must build your houses using bamboo, trees and anything else from the forest on our land. We will distribute rice. Fathers and mothers, you are the owners of these lands. You must all be grateful to Onkar, who is all-knowing and very smart. They have liberated you, fathers and mothers, from the pressures and death of capitalism."
Tonight, we are called to a meeting. We are told to respect the orders of Onkar. Anyone who dares to stand up will be killed. The leader speaks in angry words. He curses and scolds La Null and his entourage. He says that Onkar has fought hard to bring peace to the country. For example,
Onkar is wise and strives to liberate the nation from enemies, where the American was the mastermind. Our revolution has reclaimed victory.
This sentence from the meeting does not make sense. It seems like the guy just memorized these sentences as he repeats them many times. In the morning, Asat, the chief of this new village, comes to see my grandmother. He accuses her of being a capitalist. My grandmother replies harshly and without fear. I find out that Asat is related to my grandmother. He was born in Watsras, my grandmother's native village. He is my grandmother's second nephew. My grandmother knows him well. My grandmother is wealthy and loves charity work. I discover the story. She helped his parents. She supported Ashat financially and sent him to school from a very young age until he became a young adult. She helped put food on his family's table, not just him but all his siblings as well. According to my grandmother, Asat knows this well. Asat has become a Khmer Rouge in recent years. Like all the Khmer Rouge, he has been brainwashed. With the power he has becoming cruel. He is crazy as he has been brainwashed. He lost the Buddhist principles he learned when he was a monk. A day will come for his karma. He says to grandmother, Yamich, you are a capitalist. I should kill you first. This is because you are the Onkar's main enemy. I will kill all your descendants. My grandma replies in Khmer expression, you are an idiot like a crocodile who gets lost in your own lake. You think, as the village chief, you have enough power to do what you want. You are so arrogant with your new title. Asat's wife is terrified when she hears the argument. She tries to mediate between both parties. After all, Asat and my grandmother are related. Everyone feels relieved. She begs my grandmother and her husband to stop arguing, saying it is a family matter and she is afraid of gossip. No one will win. She says to her husband, you are disrespectful to your aunt and your elder. Do not resist, you will have to apologize first. At this point, Asat cools down, not knowing what to think. For now, everything is back to normal. The Khmer Rouge can exercise their power towards anyone. Asat, the village chief, like other Khmer Rouge, has been brainwashed by the communists. He is heartless and barbaric. A new day has come, and we are assigned to work on clearing the forest to build houses. We are separated into 3 families and need to build 3 houses. From now on, my mother and her siblings are separated into 3 families. We share pots and pans but eat separately. My grandma lives with my aunt. Rice is distributed once a day by a number of people. Children get half a portion of an adult's. It is not enough and we feel hungry. Today, I learned how to cut down trees in the forest. I was injured by the bamboo needles. Injury is nothing to worry about at this time. I have to work hard to construct our makeshift shelter sooner. There is a limit of machetes, and several families have to take turns cutting trees. When we have the machetes, we try to get as many trees as possible. This is the beginning of a precarious life. Section 5, Building Shelter in the Forest. It's a difficult time for everyone right now, and it seems like it's the same all across the country. The peaceful forests are becoming noisy as we're forced to build basic huts in the forest to shelter ourselves. The daily situation is very stressful, and there's no news from the former king. We don't know where he's hiding while his people are suffering. The Khmer had a prophecy that predicted the destruction of the cities Prey-Borey, Saigon, and Phnom Penh, saying that during the destruction, the houses and streets would be empty. As for the huts, they can be built quickly because we only need a simple shelter for the day and night to avoid the hot sun and wet rain. I want to build it quickly, but my brother-in-law has a different opinion. He wants to build a solid and good-looking hut, and he wants to only cut straight trees to use as pillars. My brother and I are cutting down a bunch of trees and bamboo, but my brother-in-law doesn't like them. It's more difficult and time-consuming to make a selective cut, and he's being very picky. You're not building a hut, you're building a mansion, I argued with him. All I want is a shelter where we can sleep without being exposed to dew at night. My cousins and many other families have built quick huts and they all have roofs to sleep under. But we're still sleeping under the open sky. He wants to build a solid and good-looking hut, but we want a quick hut. If we continue like this, we'll be sleeping without a roof for a few more nights. All the other families have built quick huts and have shelters to keep the dew off at night. What's the point of having a solid hut if we have to sleep outside? The night passes, and today Asat, the chief, comes. He's furious when he sees how many houses have been built carelessly. He orders everyone to tear down their houses and rebuild them according to my brother-in-law's design. All the families must tear down their houses and rebuild them, cutting more trees and bamboo for the pillars. The pillars of the houses must be straight and strong. Yesterday, I disagreed with my brother-in-law because I thought he was spending too much effort on the shelter. But now I realize he was right, because all we need now is a roof to complete the house. However, many families are being told to rebuild their homes, and some people have to learn how to cut bamboo. Some people are even hurting themselves with the bamboo needles. Overall, life is getting harder for all of us. Addenda. That brief meeting was the last time that my dad and his sister saw each other, a poignant reminder of the countless Cambodians who perished under the Khmer Rouge regime without the opportunity to reunite with their loved ones. The Khmer Rouge called individuals fathers, mothers, and comrades. They also used the term snur, which had a strange and unfamiliar meaning, to rob people's watches on the first day. Several Khmer Rouge words will be shown in subsequent chapters. All appendices published at the end of chapter 13. Please like, subscribe, comment and share with friends. Search for Kamnap Retia 2 for the English version. Please continue chapter 5 for the next video.